We are at Capitol Reef National Park, and driving through this canyon, it is mind-blowing. And I've seen a lot of boulders out here, and it made me think of a story I heard of a good Christian man, and he one day went outside and saw a giant boulder right outside his door. And so he asked God, "What do you want me to do?" And God said one word: push.
And the guy said, "You got it, God." He rolls up his shirt sleeves and he gets out there and he starts pushing and pushing and shoving and doing everything he possibly can. Boulder doesn't budge. So the next day he goes out and the boulder's still there. He says, "God, the boulder's still here. What do you want me to do?" And God said, "Push." Well, after about a week of this, the guy, pulls back the curtain and looks and the boulder's still there and he's like, okay. So he walks out and he says, "Okay, God, the boulder's still here." And God said, "Push." This went on day after day, week after week. And finally, after several months, the guy he was mad. He was angry. And he goes outside one day and he said, "God, every day I have asked you what you want me to do, and you've told me you want me to push this boulder, and I've come out here and I have pushed with all of my might from sunrise to sunset, 7 days a week. I've been working, trying my hardest to move this boulder, and nothing has happened. The boulder hasn't budged. It's still here." And God said, "Oh, my child, that's where you're wrong. I never told you to move the boulder. I told you to push. And the fact that you think nothing's happened, go look in the mirror. You have muscles you've never had before. You're so much stronger than you were before that boulder came into your life. I never told you to move it. I'll move it. I told you to push." When the boulders come into our lives, we see them from a completely different perspective than God. We see it as something we need to move and get out of the way and get on the road. I had a pastor who once always said, "God's not nearly as concerned about our happiness as he is our holiness." The boulders in our lives are to make us more like Christ. So don't try and move it. Just keep pushing.